A new year has arrived, and with it, another exciting season of OSU World Cups. As we dive into this competitive journey, we turn our attention to the players who are rumored to come from extraterrestrial origins. What's true, however, is that these players have a rare ability to tackle mind boggling charts that leave most of us in awe, yet offer a sense of fulfillment for those who can conquer them. Now, let's take a look at what the 45 countries represented here will face on their way to the starting line as they race toward the ultimate goal. Friends from across the globe, welcome to the 2026 edition of the Oceania 7K World Cup. I am Surf85, and alongside me in this commentary booth, a member of the Mappool selection team, Tails DK. I totally subtracted 20 years off this World Cup.
Hello everyone, and Happy New Year everyone. Very excited. Before we get into the yacht thing, just wanted to wish everybody a Happy New Year. We've got a lot of changes this year. We've taken the feedback from the previous year, and in the polls, we will see the extreme picks be it outside of the finals and grand finals, so you're gonna see it across all the pools. And with that, we have 3 new maps every round, and so we've also been able to include some of the previous slots that got taken out, such as long note coordination, but and LN release. But we will see all of those things later. For now, we have the qualifiers, and the qualifiers have also expanded. There is 1 extra map this year, so we have 9 maps instead of 8. And we have done some slight rebalancing on the difficulty of the qualifiers. So instead of it all being like there's some easier maps and some harder maps, we are gonna have just all quarterfinals level pool. But yeah. With that, I think we can get into the first map. Surfchu,
Definitely.
take this one away.
Well, Tails has said everything that is really true of this qualifiers pool, and I think I might as well say the players have to be up for a really fun challenge right in front of them. But anyways, we're about to start with our first stage, our general technical pick. Terminal 11 echoes an OSU original from the OSU Taiko World Cup 2025, a chart by Maxus, and I'll just say, this chart is something. The intro already throws you into these quasi-delay patterns, and then you get into those parts where you're gonna be doing lots of mini jacks. And there you go. Here comes the mini jacks, and this is practically just a progressively difficult chart to tackle overall.
Yeah, it doesn't really have like any particularly outstandingly difficult patterns, but they just keep coming, and it's quite unpredictable. So getting good accuracy and keeping your focus throughout the entire map is going to be quite difficult. We can see here already, now we get going with the mini jacks. Use like short breaks in between.
And like, the one thing I always wonder is like how people manage to combo through charts like this. Because even though like I have some I just saw the middle ring finger drill. I forgot that existed all of a sudden. Like surely no one's gonna get thrown off by that on-site read.
This map just keeps pulling like new technical pattern at every turn, so like you just don't know what's coming up next, and it's always just changing. So it's gonna be pretty tricky to also just practice and remember what comes next on the map, honestly. So this one will be a real test of how good you are at reading.
This chart in particular, I think this is something that if you as a player, like, this is the one that you might want to practice section by section, not exactly like the entire chart in full, especially if you're someone who's very prone to mind blocking patterns. Because while while yes, sure, there's a difficulty progression, but the patterning is pretty similar. You're following like a certain patterning theory throughout this entire chart. So you'll just have to tackle like the new ones as they arrive.
Yeah, we see here. It just keeps going. You don't really get a break once it really gets started, so it's just gonna tackle your mental stamina really hard. Like, you get a short break in there, but they're not like big enough to really compose yourself for what's about to come in the next section.
And then this ending, like yeah, sure, simpler patterns, but I'll tell you, the simplest patterns tend to be the ones that are hardest to to nail, and it's on the very ending of the chart as well.
Yeah. And that was our first map. Next up, we're gonna have Sound Piercer and Ginkiha with the song Blaze Your Soul. This is a map by Tells. And this is our speed / delay pick of the pool. And we're gonna see like a pretty tame intro here with some light chord stream, fast chord stream here. But once it really gets started, you don't really get too much of a break. And it's just gonna have so many different snaps all the way throughout. So it's not just gonna be the same snap throughout. It's gonna change quite a bit depending on the section.
Another aspect of speed charts in 7K really is the amount of control that you have to put yourself in, because it's so easy to go over under, especially executing the stairs that you are going to be seeing throughout this entire chart.
Yeah, we do see a little break here in the middle, but once it starts, it really, this is gonna be the real section where it's gonna get all of these fast streams. It'll throw them at you. It's gonna be really hard to get really good accuracy on this, I think.
I think I might want to mention, I think this is Tells' first World Cup chart, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, it is. It is in fact their first World Cup chart in their first appearance.
So yeah, as we were mentioning that we saw, I think like the biggest brunt of the density in this chart, and we already saw like how many things you'll have to deal with. Again, this is at that BPM where you have to be super careful with your control as you try to get the accuracy out as much as possible in this chart.
Yeah. And with that, take the next map away here, Surf.
Okay, so we're done with our first two rice charts. Now we go for the first hybrid chart. We have Masayuki by Espitz and Sobran. And this is our generic hybrid chart. Well, I'd say yes, sure. Charting theory here is a generic hybrid, but the swing beat in this song is going to make this a bit harder than what you'd initially think.
Yeah.
Like,
also, want to point out this is mapped by Stan and Yi. It's a collab map between the two.
So this chart starts out with a lot of these longer LNs, and I guess a bit reminiscent of what you'd see in an LN coordination chart. But then you're gonna see a lot of the rice notes come in really fast. You're gonna have to put a lot of control, especially being able to keep holding on to those long notes as you are doing executions on grace notes, maybe mini jacks. You see there, lots of stairs. And I think a few moments ago I saw like a grace note where you're gonna hold four LNs and then have a 3-note chord, just 16 from the start of those LNs. Not exactly the easiest to accurately execute.
Yeah, a lot of the difficulty in these kind of sections here just comes from you have these super long notes, mix them with like the really short long notes that you then also have to release on time, and then you have to do this rice stream here in between, and it's just gonna really be tricky to read all of it.
In a way, the first three charts of this qualifier set really emphasize the need of control from all of these players, really, if you want to get as high a score as possible. And now we're here in the section where it's just an overall test of your reading at this point.
Yeah. And with that, we will take on our first real long note pick of the pool. It is stage 4, Happy Cooking, Kirara by Kirara Magic. It's a map by Xneko. This is our long note coordination map. And this one might be a little tricky for some people because first of all, it's long note coordination, a very tricky skill set, but it's also in swing rhythm. And you're gonna really have to pay attention to this rhythm.
Like, I'd say though, hands down, this is one of my favorite charts in this entire qualifier set. And you already mentioned like the difficulty factor of this being LN coordination and it being a swing beat. Another thing that I'll have to note, I guess, is, and this is something that gave me lots of trouble, is that maintaining the combo, especially with some of these LNs being starts of a stop-start nature. You'll have to go off the keyboard and on the keyboard, and you'll just have to be able to maintain your combo through that, because I think a lot of people also struggle with reading through the gaps of the LNs.
Yeah, we also just have a lot of shield patterns in this that all the way throughout that are quite chokeable if you're not really like super comfortable with the long note coordination style. Get a little calm section in here between before it really starts going again.
While I'd say this is more of a calmer section, but I think this is still like significantly harder than what we had in the intro, because you're still doing like these big chords with long LN, maybe a chord or two LNs as well.
Yeah, especially here, there's some really long ones right here.
Yeah, not exactly the friendliest to combo through. But this section in particular isn't too bad.
Yeah, we're gonna get back into the hard part here in just a moment with this burst here.
Here we go. Some mini jacks as well, some reverse shield action that you're seeing now. So you have to be super careful with reading through the notes. And also, some of these staccato LNs surely will be giving some of these players some trouble getting accuracy out of them.
Yeah, it's just an overall really tricky map. It's a really cool map for the pick. With that, we can move into stage 5.
So now we're going back into the rice fields for our mixed rice pick. We have the Musical Ghost, Space Invaders, a chart by Vivid Cycle, and a new charter again, if I am not mistaken. So
yeah.
This one is just a fun chart overall. Like, you have like your usual starting chord stream as you'd see in practically all mixed charts that we've seen throughout the past World Cups. And then now we're into these patterns where you're just gonna be tested through with your entire rice skill set, really. Maybe less on the technical side, because the technicality this chart is a bit more implicit in such a way.
Yeah, you're gonna see like a small like dump style burst mixed in with like a bunch of jacks that like break them up, and then you also have like some small pauses, so it's quite tricky to like really get the accuracy on, but it is very comfortable, I think, this one overall.
Also, those bursts right there. Going into this calm section, you want to try to maintain your combo going into this part here because you really don't want to get a miss at the worst possible place.
Yeah, we had to nerf that section with all the bursts a couple times.
Yeah,
they were a little
like
too
it's
hard.
already difficult. It's already difficult as it is. And
Here we
now,
go.
this is right transition. Ooh,
This is the big code stream section of the map where we're gonna see the main density here, with mixed in with a couple rolls in there.
I also see some denim brackets, like just weaved into this entire chord stream section. So this does have everything that you'd expect from a chord stream chart, and a few more of these rolls. Really, I'm pretty sure like a lot of the players in the upper level of the roster shouldn't have much trouble getting through this chart. But I'm pretty sure this is going to be uh, one of the more interesting charts, really, if you're into the middle of the bottom of the pack. You're middle to the bottom of the pack, and you're gonna be trying to push towards qualification to this tournament. Now, let's move on to the next one.
Yeah, next up is stage 6. This is Shiny Summer Skies by Ciatrus, mapped by Kobe. And this is our new inclusion to the qualifiers. We have long node density. We wanted to get a bit more test on the long node player skills now that we have increased the pool size in general. And we've done that with the long node density map. This one, very dense. You're gonna see pretty much once it really gets started. There's just the whole screen is just filled with long nodes, pretty much. Not too difficult to release or coordinate, but main part just comes from you being able to read these big streams.
I remember when I sight read this chart and then just saw that immediate wall come crashing down into your judgment line, and then I was like, wait a minute, this chart isn't holding back at all. Not to mention that this is one of the shorter charts in this qualifier set, so you cannot really afford making any mistakes really throughout this entire thing, because it's so easy to just mess an entire run of this chart.
Yeah,
And like
very
the funny,
tricky. You're just gonna see it just keeps going. Yeah, like you do have these small breaks as well, where you have to hold down the long notes and then not click. So you have to also be prepared to suddenly stop clicking all the notes.
Also, I just have to say, like, until now, I'm still shocked at the density of this chart, really, especially compared to what we had last year for the same round. I know there were some adjustments to balance out the pool, but this is quite something.
Yeah, this one will really test the long node density of teams for sure. Yeah.
Right.
Next
So
up.
now we go back again to the race fields. We have Umeboshi Chazuke Typhoon, a chart by Takjun. This one is, well, now this time around, this is just plain chord stream, really. And I'm pretty sure a lot of the players are going to try to sharpshoot their accuracy as much as possible throughout this entire thing. There are places that you have to be super careful of. One of those sections we just got past. And I guess like the main thing that the players will have to focus here is also maintaining their stamina, because this chart is so draining.
Yeah. Also, Aurora jams in the chat for the song. It's gonna be I think PILs will just have such a fun time playing this song here. It's like a really fun map to play.
This
does
break
have
section, yeah.
Yeah, it does have some small bursts, but yeah, very nice break section.
very nice break section. Definitely, definitely gives you a break from reading like super dense stuff, but still a section where you have to still have to be super careful, not getting a miss. And now here comes the fun part.
Yeah, we're just gonna have big chord streams, and you can see there's lots of brackets mixed in here as well. So it's not just gonna be very comfy chord streams without brackets. We are definitely gonna be also testing that skill set.
172 BPM big brackets. Like what? Like this is around what? Like level 16, 17 BMS? Like some old scale? Like it's actually funny.
Yeah,
Also
but
now,
that
next one.
is our moving on to our next map. We have Don't You Overload by Astronaut. This is a map by users, and this is our long note mix map. This one is gonna be quite a bit less physically demanding than our long note density map, but it's gonna have a variety of patterns. You see here already these kind of coordination heavy patterns mixed in with a bunch of different releases. It's gonna be quite tricky to get really good accuracy on, despite not being super dense.
You mentioned like not being super dense. I was about to ask, like, I'm not sure if everyone is gonna agree with me, but this chart, while sure it's going to be as difficult as the density pick, this doesn't seem to be as physically straining as the density chart. Because overall you're just gonna be doing stairs with lots of staggered releases. Overall very comfortable patterning. It's just a matter of getting a really high score at this point.
Yeah. We see like a little burst section here. These releases you have to time here are quite tricky, especially in Scooby 2 here.
Also, I keep on forgetting the single note, single middle finger note, going to that wacky release as well. I'm pretty sure I kept on missing that one during test playing.
Yeah. And here at the end we have a little density section. This is where the map gets a little bit more dense. The climax of the song here. But still quite a bit easier than the individual density map.
Yeah, again, this is... It doesn't look like it, but this is way comfier than the density chart.
But we are not over yet, because next up we are gonna have our extreme pick of the pool. This is Hanarashi by Cranky, a map by Yi. This is our mini tiebreaker hybrid. And this map is hard.
Yeah,
This is really hard.
because like people are saying like I'm pretty sure people are saying that the previous chart already is hard, and we've been saying in contrast that it's pretty comfortable. Now you're gonna see hard and not comfy.
Yeah, this one just throws everything at you. It's got every pattern in here, honestly. You're gonna see there's gonna be chord jacks, there's gonna be long note coordination, and just big streams. Everything is here. Right now we see a little comma section, but right section here where we have like a bunch of like speed kind of patterns, rolls, mixed in with a bunch of brackets.
Like, first things first, like it's pretty surreal that we're seeing charts of this difficulty in qualifiers of all places. The other thing is that I'm pretty sure like some people might find this the difficulty of this chart be a little bit polarizing in a way, but I'm pretty sure everyone's gonna be up for the challenge. Everyone's gonna be up for the challenge here. Surely now.
Yeah, the song is just, it's really fun to play, honestly. It's got like It never really gets stale because the patterns just keep changing, like different styles all the time, even though it is kind of the same sounds you are hearing in the music, the patterns just keep changing, and the transitions only honestly flow really nicely into each other. We do see a little break here, so there are some breaks before it really gets started here again.
By the way, I just have to mention the chords there. Most of them are Rise, but there is one chord that's just staccato LN. So, you know, just be wary of that one chord.
Yeah, you see here, just these big LN chords coming in here between while you still have to hold the other one, so it's a little bit of coordination release here.
Okay, I'm pretty sure everyone saw that that reverse shield stare as well. Like, this Lord is just there to test you. Like, this is not here to comfort you, like make you stop crying because you're not getting the scores that you want. No, this is gonna keep slapping you in the face, continue to give you pain until you finally get that one score in the qualifier room. Good luck.
Yeah, good luck on this one. We're gonna get right into a big Rice section here. We're gonna see so many different snaps here. Relentless just keeps going.
It just doesn't stop, doesn't it? Also, I'm pretty sure this chart being 4 minutes long is also gonna be a test of stamina, as if the other charts haven't already tired you out, and then you're seeing this. Like, to put it into perspective, the amount of charts that you are playing in this qualifier set is basically the same as the amount of charts that you'd be playing in a round of 32 match if it goes to tiebreaker, but everything is around semis. Everything is around quarterfinals level. So
yeah, that was the entire qualified pool. I hope everybody is gonna enjoy these, and of course, we do have the Mappool feedback channel open always, and we do always read them. We have applied a lot of feedback from last year, so yeah.
Well, I hope that everyone is going to find a very fulfilling time practicing these charts over the next how many days? 6 days?
Yeah. We do also want to send out a reminder. There are a couple teams who have not submitted their rosters yet. Please do as soon as possible. We do want to see everybody have a team who signed up, who are able to.
You still have like what? How many hours? But the deadline is at 23:59 UTC, so just a minute before midnight UTC. I think it's like about 9.5 hours from now, if I am not mistaken. So please do so.
Yeah, but that will be all from us, I think, for this week. We will be back next week after the qualifiers with the results and the round of 32 map polls. Stay tuned until then.
Yeah, that has indeed been the 2026, not 2006 as I said in the intro, apologies about that, the 2026 Oceania 7K World Cup Qualifiers Mappool Showcase. This has been Search85 and Tails DK, and we're gonna see you guys next weekend for the results.
私を売れば命くらいダサかったはず。勘違いしないで、私はお前を殺すつもりだった。勘違いさせないで。